Hey, it's Aidan here. We're doing a little video today about something that we've seen an awful lot of entertainers struggling with. It's been a recurring theme, and especially now with the time of recording this, we're about to slingshot straight into December, which is by far, I think we can all agree, the most profitable time of the entire year for entertainers. And if we don't nail this specific angle, if you like, if we don't nail this specific angle, well, we're basically throwing a load of potential down the drain. And to give you a bit of context on this, chances are right now there are three things that you're struggling with right now. That might be a lack of leads. That could be a uncomfortable sales. Like sales feels really awkward to actually go ahead and do. Been there, got the t-shirt. It's fun. But the other thing is the one that we're kind of zooming in on today is actually this unclear offer. Actually, this whole concept of like, okay, what is it that I'm actually offering? And specifically on that, we're actually going to talk about pricing. And you see, pricing is a really interesting one because for the people that don't get this right, they spend so much time hustling away to book an absolute shed load of gigs, but the rewards, the financial payoff is literally not there. They are hustling for what feels like pennies relative to their time and energy and all of that kind of stuff. Also, the other thing and the real big problem that we're tackling in this video is the concept of pricing by the hour. Hint, don't do it, but more on that in just a second. But the problem is like when people start pricing by the hour, is that they open themselves up for such big negotiation. Like if you're saying, "Oh, I'll do 2 hours at this period of time," what's the client to expect that you can't do it for half the time for half the price? Like it's a logical conclusion that clients actually jump to, and as a result, I don't really want to be spending half my time negotiating. I'd rather my sales conversations were effortless. Another thing that people mess up is that actually pricing by the hour specifically, that's not scalable. And when I say scalable, I don't mean you're going to grow and take over the entire world and earn all of the monies in your entertainment business. Sure, it's not a scalable operation in terms of you can't actually grow your entertainment business if you're stuck charging by your time. But you've also got to think about your actual input as well, like what it is that you're doing, because chances are you're not doing your entertainment business because you just want to do your entertainment business. It's probably a reason. And in the world of peak performance, there's this whole concept of the people that are really motivated, they're either running to something or from something. Chances are you're the same. You're either running to something, a lifestyle or a vision that you've got for your life and dreams, goals that you're chasing, or you're running away from something and like you're trying to escape a job. You've just escaped a job that you don't really enjoy and you don't want to go work for somebody else. You want that independence there. And again, the problem with like pricing and messing up the pricing, especially leaning into the pricing by the hour concept, is that you put a cap on that. Not only can you not grow your entertainment business, but you are stuck in the weeds all the time, running your entertainment business, doing the shows, doing the performances, getting the gigs, booking the contracts, all that, this, that, and the other. And that's actually stopping you from doing one or the other, either running from the thing or running to the thing. It's a really bizarre concept, but a lot of people fall into that trap. And another final thing, actually, before we move on, is that if you start pricing by the hour or you don't get your pricing right, you're going to end up resorting to these like cheap tricks and cheap tactics to try and sell like your top tier package so you make some extra cash. We've all been there. We've all seen these clever pricing strategies and strategic layouts and stuff. And truth is, why bother? If I'm perfectly honest, they can be useful, but they're only useful once you've got really great no-brainer offers locked in that your clients actually sell themselves on. Like, if anything, that's going to be so much easier because now we're not having to use cheap and sleazy sales tactics and psychological hacks that work for 3% of the time. We don't have to do any of that. We can just move into no-brainer offers rather than having this hustling around for pennies. What we want is we want good money coming in every single time rather than being open for negotiation. We want the clients to actually see the value of what it is that you're actually offering and just see that as an absolute no-brainer. They see the value, if anything, as significantly above what the price you're actually asking for is. That's a really important nuance. And rather than having a not scalable, we want scalable foundations for our business, for our time, our money, our time outside of the entertainment business. And again, this all comes through pricing. Pricing has such a big impact of whether this actually works or doesn't. But there are some mistakes that people make, aside from those that actually, when they come down to setting their prices. First off, fee is just too low. In fact, let me move myself back up here while we're talking. Big mistake that people make. Number one is like, the fee is just too low. Now we all know how valuable entertainment is at events and things, but without entertainment, the whole event is a very different dynamic, and a dynamic that most people surprisingly don't actually want. Which actually, although we're seen as like a nice to have on a lot of events lists and stuff, we're an absolute necessity, and we have to have our prices, and we have to allow our prices to reflect that, because when we accept that our value is there, the clients will. So if anybody there right now, if you're sat there watching this thinking, oh, my clients won't pay if I charge more, truth is they probably won't, with the mindset that you've got, because you have to tackle it in a different way. Second big mistake is that people price based on their own self-esteem. Let me say that again. People price based on their own self-esteem. That's why you've seen terrible performers out there that are doing really well and making a killing from their entertainment business, because they could charge a lot more, because they've got that confidence and their self-esteem is through the roof. Whereas people like you and me are probably on the flip side of that, and we've got a little bit of a lower self-esteem, and as a result, it's easy for us to sell low and lower our fee because we don't have that level of inflated ego and self-esteem that others have. And as a result, that damages our entertainment business. Another big thing is that like when it comes down to that self-esteem, they're comparing each other all the time. Like if you've ever done this, looked at what other magicians are charging in your area and then gone in at that sort of fee, again, absolute mistake. It's just you're comparing yourself, and you're not actually setting out your true value. And a third big mistake when it comes down to implementing the stuff we're about to talk about is that people actually base their prices on what they would pay. Now, I want to say this. You are not your target client. You are not the person that's going to be booking you. So as a result, there is absolutely 0% in terms of actual relevancy as to what you would pay for an entertainer, because you just don't matter. Truth is, you do not matter when it comes down to this. Now, let's put this in a different idea, or in a little bit of a different context for you. You see, we're all probably familiar with this man. This is Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, one of the founders of Apple. Now, this man did incredible things, whether you like Apple or you don't like Apple. We all know that Apple products are bloody expensive. Now, why did that come around? Well, Steve decided that actually the value of what he was going to offer was going to be so big relative to the value of everything else on the market. And as a result, the value is there, and the price can actually go up along with it. For example, when the iPod first launched, that wasn't just another device, music MP3 device, the most portable MP3 device. It wasn't anything like that. The promise was 1,000 songs in your pocket. Now, that was unrivaled to anything else. A small device, 1,000 songs in your pocket, game changer for the industry. And so many people saw that as incredibly valuable. And as a result, they were able to charge a premium for it, and they were able to charge more and more and more. Steve didn't just wake up one day and think, what would be how could I get the most money out of all of my customers? Okay, we'll make it like that. And when you see it in that sense, it's bizarre, because that's exactly what we do as entertainers. Like, we used to do this all the time in terms of, how much should we charge for this? Pluck a number out of thin air, see if we can get it. We don't want to do that. Instead, we want to copy what Steve did and actually price based on the value, not by ourselves or our own self-esteem or anything like that. We want to price based on our value. And the truth is, when you do this, everything changes, because so much of the industry don't do this. In fact, I'd probably even say that a small segment right now, it's where we're going to be aiming for. But everybody else, they're quite simply just going around using these cheap tactics, just picking random numbers out of thin air, comparing themselves to others. Whereas we are now going to be operating within that small wedge of the pie here. We're going to be operating from that tiny little portion where we're doing this right, and our pricing isn't killing our business. Instead, it's helping our business. And instead of going over here and messing around with these bland, confusing, unappealing offers, what we want to do is we want to actually focus on what is exciting, what is easy to understand and perfect for our clients. If we can do that, and we can focus on making that jump, everything is a game changer. And the easiest way to do that is quite simply to price based on your value, not by your hourly rate or by what you think or anything like that. Whatever you think personally, put that out of the window. Instead, what you want to do, let me bring my face back up here. What you really want to do in order to get really effective with this stuff is to go ahead and work out what is the true value of what it is that you are offering. And if you're not sure, if you've got no idea how on earth to do this, just ask a client right now. Like either a past client, somebody that you've got in your pipeline, or just ask somebody that you know that might be having an event. Ask them what their biggest problem is going to be, their biggest challenge for this event. What is that going to be? And what is the value? And ask them, like, if you was to put a number on how important this is, like how much would this mean to you financially to have this offer, this one specific challenge transformed? It might be a case that I feel like my guests are going to get a bit bored, and which is I'm nervous about because there's like 150 of them. That's a great opportunity for you to ask what is the value, and find out what is their financial value on that problem. Do that for a couple of people and a couple of different challenges and a couple of different problems, and suddenly you're in for a winner because you now know how much they value all of that stuff, which means you're not going to go and price it at like that huge number that they'll have just suggested. Instead, you're going to go with just a fraction of it, but that's great money for you, immensely valuable for them. You're building on a scalable process. Your entire business becomes scalable and you can grow it. And we're not hustling away for like peanuts anymore. We actually are getting a good income. We're getting a good wage. It's a mindset that we have to get ourselves through. We have to remove ourselves from our fees, if you like, so that we can actually save ourselves from all of the rejection and because when somebody rejects us for our fee or whatever, we take it personally because we've charged by the hour and we've associated our offer with the fee. We want to unlink that right now because we're shifting a product, not us. Get our mindset out of the way. We'll price it really effectively, and then we are good to go for the long haul. Hopefully that's been somewhat useful for you. And if you have any questions or you'd like some help actually going through this stuff and really making sure that your pricing is actually on point, just comment value beneath this video. We'll be able to reach out and have a chat and see if we can actually help from there. But for now, stop pricing by the hour, price by the value of what it is that you're actually offering, and go from there. See you soon.